Welcome to episode 50 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There's a Ravelry group for the podcast. There's also a blog, and thank you so much for being here. Episode 50. Wow, I never thought I would come here, so this blows my mind, and I'm so happy that there are so many people out there who watch my podcast. I know that there are the super big podcasts who everyone watches and they have like thousands of viewers, and I don't have that, and that's absolutely okay because I feel like I'm still able to be connected to my viewers, and when you have that many viewers, that's not possible. So I'm very happy with what I have here and with everyone of you who's here to watch. So I am wearing my hand knit tunic today, like I said I would last week. Now looking at myself here on my screen, I feel like it looks awful with my hair color right now, but I love the tunic. So I showed it last week. I talked about it last week. It's the Forster pattern by Nora Gone. It's from one of her books when she still was with Barocco, and this is what it looks like. I am really happy with it. I like the pooling. I still like the pooling, and yeah, it when I'm not standing up right now, it does cover my ass. So it's the perfect length. What I'm not really happy with is that it's tight around my belly because there's a little bit of wobbly there. But yeah, that's just how it is. It fits great. I love it. I'm really, really happy with it. So that's a win with a sweater for me, which doesn't happen all too often. So I, of course, had to start new sweaters or one new sweater. Yeah, because that's just how my brain works. So I did not finish anything, so there's no knitting in the past, but I have knitting in the present, and it is, like I just said, a sweater. It's out of my hand spun. It is this sweater here, the cover sweater. The book is New England Knits. It's by Melissa Labar and Cecily Glowick MacDonald. Maybe. I don't know how to say their names. And yeah, like I said, it's the Middlefield pullover, and it's the one from the cover. It has an interesting construction, and I have started this sweater on Friday. I am using my hand spun, which looks like this. It's a light gray with a very light butter yellow in it. And I got this at a charity table at a spinning meetup. So I spun that up and I started my sweater. It looks like this right now. You start your sweater in the middle of the yoke, or right after the ribbing. It started, and the ribbing is added on later in the other direction. So what I did, the pattern calls for a normal cast on. Just cast on, start knitting. And then you have to pick up the stitches to knit up the ribbing. I started the sweater here, with these welts. And I decided that I did not want to pick up stitches and knit up because I didn't want to have that line in here, or, I would just, I felt that it could be a bit tight and like a seam. So what I did a provisional cast on, and I used the Judy's Magic cast on to do the provisional. So I have a cable in here that holds all the stitches that I would have to pick up later. So I just have to put up my needle and start knitting again. I feel like I'm not doing a good job explaining stuff today. So yeah, I did separate 4 sleeves, and I'm working my way down the sweater. I am on the waist decreases right now. I think I have one more set of decreases to do. And the beginning of the round for this sweater is in the center back. Or not really the center. Or maybe it is the center. Because there's this ribbing pattern in the garment. And that kind of hides the beginning of the round. So you do not have a weird wonky row somewhere under your arm. They do this in the back of the sweater. I think it looks good. Here's a picture of the back, and I think it doesn't really show up all that much. So I did do that exactly how they told me to do. Oh god. I started this sweater without doing a gauge swatch because I'm wild. And I decided to go for the size 42, and I'm a 38. So I should be fine. My yarn is a little bit thinner than the yarn that's called for, but I'm still using the same needle size, and you know, holding it up to myself and the tunic, it's the same width. So what I have planned and decided on with this sweater, I have, like I said, I spun this myself. I got the fiber of a charity table. I could not get more, but I only have 4 skeins. I used up 1 full skein so far, and that's just not enough. I don't have enough yarn. So what I decided on doing, I am going to pair my hand spun yarn with Rowan felted tweed. And when I put it up like this, I think it will look great. I am going to knit all the ribbing, you know, on the yoke, on the sleeves, which have a 5-inch ribbing, with the felted tweed. And also, I will not do the folded hem in the pattern, but I will add a ribbing instead. So I have the ribbing all around. I think it's going to be fine. I'm very excited, and I just want to work on this sweater. Like I said, I started on Friday. It's Monday, and I didn't knit a whole lot yesterday because I had to sew. So yeah, it's basically 2 days work, and I'm just so excited for this. I wanted to do this forever. The book is not a new publication. It's came out a few years ago, and I spun the yarn, I think 2 years ago, and got the felted tweed to go with it. So this is on my needles right now. I hope to have it done quickly because it's so much fun. And also I feel like it's Tour de Fleece right now, and knitting with hand spun is also Tour de Fleece related, right? I think it is. So yeah, Middlefield Pullover by Melissa Labar, out of the book New England Knits. You can get it as an ebook download from Interweave, or you can buy the book. And if you want to know, it's from 2010. So not very new, but it's a really nice book with nice patterns in it. So I can recommend getting it. So that's my first work in progress. And the second one is also something you didn't see because I didn't work on any socks this week. Not at all. And also my week was short because my last podcast was on Wednesday and it's Monday. So yeah. I started a shawl, and it's called Linientreu. It's by a German designer called Ute Navratil. The pattern is available in German, English, French, and Italian, maybe 4 different languages. So I got the English version because I'm so used to knit English patterns that I struggle with German ones sometimes. So I saw a picture of a finished shawl of this on Instagram. It was by Diane, who goes by Knittables, and I just fell in love with it, so I had to start it right away. And I dug through my room and my yarn stash, and I found 3 of the Frische Fische Zauberball. I have no idea what they call it in English. It's the super colorful one. And some natural undyed yarn, also from Schoppelwolle. So these 2 are the yarns that I'm using. You need to have 250 grams of the gradient yarn and just 50 from the other yarn. So yeah, I'm excited about this. And I have a wee start. It has a ton of these little triangles, and I just started with the first 2, and it looks like this so far. So I have to add the 3rd triangle over here, I think. Yes, it goes over here and or here. I have to check because it goes onto this for sure. And then I can go to section 2. It's a lot of fun making these, and it's all garter stitch, which for these, of course, they are knit in the round, so you have to purl around, knit around, purl around, knit around, but I don't care. It's not a whole lot of stitches, and I don't mind purling at all, so that's good. I use the recommended needle size in a pattern, which is a 4 and 5 or a 3.5 and 3.75 millimeter needle. And yeah, I'm going to be working on this maybe today. I want to finish the 3rd triangle for sure and pick up the stitches to go for the next section. So this is on my needles as well. And I'm excited for it. Also, it's huge. This is going to be so big, which is awesome because I feel like I don't really wear small shawls. I use my bigger shawls around the house when I'm cold or, you know, just want to sit outside to read in the evening and it's a bit chill. But I do not really wear smaller shawls because I could never wear them for work. And I just use them when I'm not at work and not at home, which is basically never. So, yeah. Oh, didn't talk about the bags. This is a bag my friend Martina made for me, and this is a Mad Bird bag. The first one I got from her, and I still love it. It's my favorite from hers, I think, maybe. So, let's put this pattern away again. Good. Now, that's it for knitting in the present. For knitting in the future, I still have the same 2 things that I had last week because I didn't pick them up. I want to knit the sleeves on my breathing space sweater. It's done up until here, and the sleeves go here. So it's not a lot of work. I want to do that. I want to finish that sweater. And I'm going to go back to my socks because I plan on reading a little bit more maybe this week. So I don't know. I don't know actually if I will knit at all this week because it's Tour de Fleece and I want to spin. So we will find out. So talking of Tour de Fleece and spinning, I have a ton of plans, of course, like I always do, and I never get to them. So yeah, I'm going to show them anyways. I have a big bag full of stuff. So this is my first spin that I'm going to show later. I plan on spinning some sock yarn with this fiber. It's from Ätherische Öle und Meer. She's a German indie. She has a shop on Davanda. Then I have 2 braids of 3 Waters Farm. That will be a 2-ply, just normal. Because they are the same fiber, they are just braided differently. So yeah. Then I have 4 of these. They look like this. And it's Southern Cross fibers. The colorway is Harkin. It's Polworth. And I have, like I said, 4 of these. I got them off of a de-stash. It's the only Southern Cross fiber I own. And I will spin those into a sweater quantity, of course. So then I have some single braids of fiber in here that I had put in for last week's Tour de Fleece, and I never got to them. So these are my backup plans. It's 3 Waters Farm, all of these, I think. This is from a club, another 3 Waters Farm club, the third 3 Waters Farm club that I have in here. And I have 1 braid or 1 bump of fiber from Spunky Eclectic that I got a million years ago. So these were my initial plans. I have to put stuff back in here because I need to clear my table. So I have this bag upstairs in my living room looking at me and daring me to spin. So what I also had and wanted to spin was this braid of fiber. I got this from a local friend of mine. She dyed it. It's a merino silk, and it's just a one braid. And we had spinning club at my house on Saturday to kick off Tour de Fleece, and we do this every 2 months, so yeah, I got this out and wanted to spin it. It was my plan to do this first. But then she had this braided fiber with her that she recently dyed. It's 200 grams or 250, I haven't measured. And yeah, this is what I already had. So I had to get it because it goes perfectly together. And then, because I have more talented friends in the dyeing section, my other friend brought this braided fiber. So when I put these together like this, the braid that I already had ties both of these together perfectly. It has the purple from this braid. It has the autumnal sandy colors from this braid. So I will do a Tracy style mix and match sweater quantity with these. And I am really excited because it's colors. I love those colors, but I don't have anything hand spun in a big quantity like that out of these. So yeah, this is going to be my next project for Tour de Fleece. Dividing these and start spinning. I'm really happy that I got the other two braids. The other ones that I just got are both 200 or to 250 grams, and the one in the middle I think is about 130, so it's definitely enough for a sweater. And I have to make sure that I put those back again in their little baggie. I just put them in a paper bag because I didn't have anything else upstairs yesterday when I put them away. So yeah, this is going to be the next thing on my spinning wheel. And then I already finished something, or you know, I've spun something. I haven't plied it yet. And the fiber is from Uniquely Yours. It's a BFL. And her shop is on Etsy. Oh, I'm holding it here. It's uniquelyoursdesign.etsy.com. I had this in my stash for a while, so yeah. I spun it up. I spun one bobbin on Saturday and one yesterday. And I'm going to ply them today. So this is going to be done later today. It's going to be a worsted weight because I just wanted to have an easy and quick start to Tour de Fleece, and I think that most of my spins for Tour de Fleece are going to be worsted weight. And the other thing I want to do for Tour de Fleece, or I need to do, is ply this ball of fiber. It goes with this finished skein of handspun. I got this from my friend who also dyed some of the fiber that I just got. And she spun this and decided that she liked it, but she didn't like it as much as she hoped because she dyed it herself and she wanted to love it, but she doesn't. So I told her that I loved it, and she gave me the finished skein of fiber, or the finished skein of yarn, and she spun the rest of the fiber and just wound it off her bobbin into a ball. And I have to take my skein winder, wind off 2 skeins that are equal, and just ply it, and then I will have a gradient style yarn, and I will knit something for myself, possibly a shawl. So yeah, this is the next thing. Ply this yarn and ply this yarn. Also, I discovered that I still have to ply the sock yarn that I spun, and I might do that as well. So I will have all the finished fiber spun up. Now I'm just gonna put these back in here. They barely fit. And put that away. So that's it for Tour de Fleece and all the spinning. Now, new stuff. I have new stuff. I already showed the fiber that I got from my friends. I'm gonna show this in a second. I also got yarn from my two friends. I got this skein of yarn. It's a DK weight. I'm not sure yet what to do with it, but I'm leaning towards doing a cowl if I can wear this to my next to my face. I'm not sure. I will consider a cowl. And from the other one, I got these two skeins. They are also a DK weight. They're both 150 grams. So I have 300 grams and I think about 850 meters. And I want to do a beach tank with these. My colors. It's just my colors, as you can see. So yeah, I really look forward to this. I have to get the pattern and I might start this very soon because, you know, as we should have summer right now, I should be able to wear this soon. So yeah, this is the yarn that I got from my friends. And then I went to a flea market yesterday with my friend, the Stitchinista, and I got stuff there. We found a person who had buttons, like she had buttons. It was amazing and awful at the same time because I was so overwhelmed. And we dug through 3 or 4 boxes like this big, full of these little cards with buttons. And I got some. I'm gonna show them. I got these. She did sew all of these onto these cards herself. And as it was a flea market, they were really cheap. I could have gotten way more than these because there were so many and they were so pretty, and but you know, when you don't have a project in mind, why would you get a million buttons? I really like these. They look like they have a small crest, family crest on them. And these one, because they look so vintage, 50s, 60s style. And my friend got the same ones in blue. So these are the buttons. She told us that she used to work in a fabric store. And when this store closed, she got a lot of stuff. I got zippers from her. Just normal zippers. They're the size that I use for my big project bag. So I can use those, of course. And also what I got from her is this jersey. It's a piece of jersey fabric. It's 1.30 meters long and 150 wide. So I will possibly make a easy, very simple dress to wear around the house. I will wash the fabric and then it will be fresh and clean and usable. So that's all from one person, and for all of that I paid 12 euros. So I was really happy with it. It's a flea market. You can get nice bargains. And then we found a different person. She has fabric, and she told us that she has way more fabric, and we asked her if she would come back next week with way more fabric, and she said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So this is a real vintage fabric. It's 90 centimeters wide. That's 36 inches. Like almost a yard wide. I think they stopped producing fabric in that width around the 60s. So this is super vintage fabric. It looks like this. It's 2 meters of this. I really like it. I'm possibly going to make a top out of it because it's only 2 meters and it's only 90 centimeters wide. So I don't have a whole lot, but I thought, she told us that she has some bolts still of fabric. And I think maybe if she has a bolt of this fabric, I could get more and get 2 or 3 more meters and make a dress, a vintage style dress out of this. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's nice. It's very different for me, or from what I normally use, because it's fire engine red and I don't do red normally. But I just fell in love with this, so I had to get it. So yeah, these are my flea market findings from yesterday. And then I got a gift. I got a project bag from my friend Martina again with the diagonal zip. And she used leftover fabric from projects from her because I love this print. I have a huge sweater project bag out of this print from Slipped Stitch Studios. And now I have a smaller project bag from this as well. And I love it. I like the construction of these. It's yellow and red on the inside. So, yes. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks awesome. So, that's it for what I got. That's it for new stuff. Now, there's no indie of the week because I didn't use indie stuff. Reading, listening, watching. I have not read anything. I didn't watch anything. Except for a soccer game, which I'm not into at all. But it was fun to watch. To me, it's just, I don't care for football. Even with the European Championship going on right now. But I did watch the game on Saturday night where Germany played, so I did watch that. But I'm listening to stuff. When I went away, I downloaded the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, the German version, to my phone. And I am on book 1 right now. I'm about the first third in, where the hobbits arrive at Bree and decide to continue on with Strider. So in the books, that's about the first 10 minutes, but in the movie, I think, in the films, that's the first 10 minutes and they're off. In the books, it's the first third, because there's so much stuff going on and so much talk before the story really begins that, it's the uncut version, so it's everything in there. And I love listening to it because it's just, I read it so many years ago and I still love it. So, except for the first 150 pages that I had to read, or the first 120, because it's just so boring. I really wanted to stop reading the book because it was so awful. And after you get the hurdle of the first 120 pages, it just, but before it's like very old chewing gum. So, that's what I'm listening. Now for sewing. I did sew yesterday. I am taking part in a quilting bee for the very first time in my life. And it's organized by a German pattern designer. And she designed a pattern called Bubbles Quilt. And it basically is a log cabin bubble, or circle, that's the word. So, for the first thing that I have to send out, her wishes for the block that I was going to make were green on black. She has black for the background for her quilt, and the color wheel for the bubbles. So I ended up with green, and this is my bubble. I made this yesterday. I'm really happy with it. It's the perfect size now. I don't have to add stuff on. So I just have to nicely fold it, put it in an envelope, and get it in the mail, because I should have sent this out in June and it's July. So I need to get it out. But I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. And it does look like a circle. It is foundation pieced. And yeah, I really like it. I'm so excited for my bubbles. I decided for yellow as the background and autumnal colors like dark red, burnt orange, nice greens for the bubbles. So it's going to be, just my colors. And also I started a bubble for myself because I thought that it would make sense to start something for myself and try the pattern out before I'm going to do it for someone else. And it is over here because I have to put stuff everywhere again. This is my started bubble for myself. It's a smaller size because there are different sizes in a pattern. And I decided to do a gray background with a yellow bubble, and this will be for my sampler quilt that I'm working on every now and then. So yeah, I made one of the 4 pieces to try the pattern, made the bubble that I have to send out, and I will make this bubble for myself and show it hopefully next week. So that was my sewing. I didn't sew anything else. I just didn't want to. Now cross stitch. Nope. Just nope. I didn't cross stitch at all. But for everything else, I have stuff to talk about. Now, I already talked about Tour de Fleece. I am not participating in any groups this year. I'm not on any official teams. I just didn't find the time to do it. So I did open a thread in my podcast Ravelry group, and you can show your spinning. I don't care in which groups you are. It's just show your spinning, have fun, and I did show my plans, and I will show my finished stuff in there, and that's going to be my participation in the Tour de Fleece threads that are all over Ravelry right now. Then there's the interpretations knit along going on, where you can enter every pattern from the interpretations books by Jochi Locatelli and Vera Välimäki. And I still plan on knitting about 1 million things out of these books, except for the breathing space sweater. So yeah, I hope to do that. This knit along runs till the end of September, so you have a lot of time. If you want to start a sweater now, just do it and take your time. You have 3 more months to enter. Yes. Then there's the 50th episode today. So I decided to do a giveaway, and I'm giving away 1 project bag that I will make. I will open a thread in the Ravelry group where you can enter if you want to win a project bag. It's that easy. Just enter. If you want to, you can tell me, what would you like about the podcast, or what you want me to, if there's something I should change, or something you would want me to do, like, bonus episode talk stuff. Let me know just if you have some feedback for me, and I will consider whatever is written in there. And then the month ended, and there's the 16 in 2016 knit along going on, which is about socks, and I decided, as this is the halfway point, to give away 2 prizes this week, and I have to get them, of course. So I have 2 prizes. I have this book. It's Shibui Socks. It's published by Shibui Knits or Shibui Yarns. And then I have this skein of yarn, which is hand dyed from a German indie dyer called not Etere, it's Lakeside Wolle. And this skein of yarn is a tweed. So these are my 2 prizes, and the people who won are the book. The book goes to post number 322, and this post was from Lily B. Your name is Liz and you live in the UK. Give me your address and I will send this out to you. And the prize number 2, the skein of yarn, goes to post number 117. The person who posted it is Ulat. I'm sorry for butchering stuff. Your name is Ulla and you live in Denmark. So please contact me so I can get those 2 prizes out in the mail. And as always, at the end of July, your prize will go back into my prize pool, because that's just what I decided to do. So you have a whole month to contact me for your prizes. Liz and Ulla. Don't forget to contact me. So I think that's it. I'm going to put that away again because it's just... I hope to be able to tell you that I cleaned my room maybe next week, because it's so awful in here. I really don't want to spend time in here right now. It's awful. So I don't like that. But I like to knit, so I'm going to do that instead of cleaning, because I hate cleaning. Okay, I think that's it. I don't have anything else in my show notes. I talked about everything. I think I talked real fast again, but that's just who I am. And yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will talk to you again next week. Enjoy everything you do. Bye.